And it's been 3 years since a hurricane devastated this part of the state. And it's just amazing to still see homes that are in this kind of condition. To think that we live in the United States of America, one of the strongest, most advanced countries in the world, and yet there's people in our own backyards that still are living in flood damaged homes and they're not getting any help from anybody.
I think when people see this, it would be great if they could take a ride down the shore, physically get in their car and take a ride down and see what some of these houses, what these people have been living with for the last 2 years. It's amazing that everything has not happened as quickly as everybody thinks it should. Yes, there's lots of money there, but people are still without a home for 2 years. That's a god-awful long time to have to be staying with either friends or relatives or motels and hotels. So get involved. It doesn't hurt. It really doesn't. Yeah, you get a little sore occasionally, but a good hot shower, we'll take care of that in a little bit, but try it. Try it, you might like it. You may only come once, but at least you give it a try, and you always know that there's an end game here. It's bringing people home, and that's what it's all about.
My name is David Felder. We are in Port Monmouth, helping these people get their house back together after Hurricane Sandy. I'm here as part of a cleanup crew from the Northern New Jersey Jewish Federation. This is my first time working here in Jersey.
The organizations down here were very well organized with tools and material. It was a great thing to learn from the people here, the other volunteers, and also be able to pass on what I know about the trades to the young volunteers. It was a very rewarding experience seeing the homeowners get involved with meeting us and getting a little glimpse of a smile on their face, knowing that we're all here and there's going to be some progress and help made. It's
a great way to meet new people. Every trip that we've ever been on, you always meet new people, and they become friends for a long time, for a very long time. We get together a couple of times during the year to kind of go over things. And it's the type of thing that you can do physically. You see the end result, and that's really, really what the best thing is. Like today we went in and we literally walked into an empty room, and now that room is completely sheetrock. And that's an amazing feeling that you can do something for somebody else and see the end result. A lot of times if you give money and things of that nature, it's great, but you don't feel it or see it or touch it. And I think that's why most of us do it. I know that's why I do it. My talents are I can whack a hammer, I can sheetrock, I can mud, I can do a whole bunch of things. So for me, it's a way to give back for all the things that God's been great enough to give me in my life.
But we could really use more volunteers out here to help more families and even help with the same families to get them a few steps closer to moving back.
I think everyone should do this. Helping other people out is the best joy that you can get.
We're providing just a little bit of hope that things are going to get better. We're going to turn things around.
We have become experts at breaking concrete by this point.
And cracking some jokes at the same time.
It certainly beats going to a gym.
Anyone is looking for a one-of-a-kind experience, this is the absolute best place to do it.
Helping is what I do.
I enjoyed every second of it.
Hi, my name is Carmela. I'm from Chestnut Ridge in New York. And I'm here at Camp Evans volunteering with the Church of the Presentation. We've been renovating space for both individuals who were affected by Hurricane Sandy and also renovating some of the space that will be used for volunteers who will follow me in the work to help victims of Hurricane Sandy. We're breaking ground in many ways. I think as a group of volunteers, we have a lot to say that will help Camp Evans to maybe customize the space a bit for the future volunteers. It's wonderful to be able to help in a way that you wouldn't be able to do, I don't think, as an individual, but when you're involved in a group, it's so powerful and the outcome is so much stronger. I think we could take on projects that require lots more labor, take on projects that really can utilize skills no matter what your skills are, even if they're just basic skills or no skills at all. And with the power of the group behind you, you get to use them in new ways and you learn something new. From this volunteer experience, I take away the satisfaction that I'm able to give in ways that I wouldn't have anticipated I could. I come away with a camaraderie with the other volunteers and a real appreciation for what volunteers can do if they're banded together around a common cause. And that's a good feeling.
This is the third dumpster we've filled in 4 days. That's 3 less dumpsters they have to worry about. By helping clear out the gunk, they can focus on building a new house. It was very challenging. The first day I was exhausted, but I really got to know my strength because the second day it was a little bit easier and the third day it was even easier, and today I'm really, really tired. But could you tell? No. Well, volunteering is about helping others, but in a way, what you give, you get back. So I'm giving my help and service to others, and in return, I'm learning a lot about myself, and I'm learning about other people. It feels great. I love to help. Helping is what I do.
One of the groups featured in the Jersey Shore Volunteers Challenge were the students of St. Joseph's College of New York, led by Pat Tracy. 2 of the students produced this video.
This is a serious storm, and it could potentially have fatal consequences.
We have reports of 5 feet of water in some places in Atlantic County, significant flooding in Cape May County and in Ocean County. Now everybody thinks they're smarter than we are here, and maybe they are, but not about this.
If you're in your home or somewhere safe where you can remain, stay there. Make no mistake about it, this was a devastating storm, maybe the worst that we have ever experienced.
We have a long road ahead of us, but I have complete confidence we're going to come out of this better and stronger than before. This state is too tough to give in to this type of devastation, and we in the government will be here to work with you to have New Jersey completely recover.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to all the families who've lost loved ones. Unfortunately, there have been fatalities as a consequence of Hurricane Sandy. Obviously, this is something that is heartbreaking for the entire nation. I want you to cut through red tape. I want you to cut through bureaucracy. There's no excuse for inaction at this point. I want every agency to lean forward and to make sure that we are getting the resources where they're needed as quickly as possible.
St. Joseph's College came here with a mission, a goal, to help those in need and to have a good time.
We're down here in by the Jersey Shore, helping with some construction that's still going on from the storm 2 years ago. 2 of the things that we've been seeing and working on are houses that never got finished and houses that were finished in a flawed fashion. One particular house had some repairs done rather fast that didn't hold up, and I believe that the place we're going to today never completely got theirs finished.
Today we're working on a house that was destroyed 2.5 years ago, had some rehabilitation done, and then there was a crack in the foundation and some of it had to be redone. So by us coming, everybody giving up their week, and nobody has to build a whole house, do a thing, but as a team, we're gonna help this project along.
Here we are, almost 2.5 years post Sandy, and some people are just starting the process. Some people are just finding out that they're going to be getting $150,000. Well, in New Jersey, $150,000 is not enough to demolish a home and build a new home. So by having volunteers like yourselves come in and help out, we're able to leverage whatever dollars the people do get and make that go that much further. For every dollar spent on construction, approximately 60 to 65 cents is a labor component. So therefore, by having volunteers do that work, it goes a lot further.
Well, this is my third spring break trip. I've done a winter break trip as well. I'm part of Stripes on the Brooklyn campus, so I'm totally involved in service all the time. But spring break is by far my favorite thing we do.
What keeps you coming back?
The friendships I make, just the feeling that you get when you know that you're making a difference, and you don't see it immediately, but you know, like in 4 months from now, there's going to be a family moving into that house we just cleared out the cement from. And that's the feeling that still gives me the tingles every time I talk about it. And that's why I love it, and that's why I keep doing it, just for that feeling of just being something bigger than myself.
Some of these are my students from my classes, so I knew them already, and that was fun. But I've met a lot of new students today, and I enjoyed that. But the main thing is that they're all having such a good time. You know, they're really enjoying themselves. They're you know, figuring out ways to work together, you know, throughout the project. But it's not just, you know, hard work. I'm pleasantly surprised at how much they're laughing and enjoying themselves. And it's really just about sort of being together, I think, you know.
Now you talked about everyone getting to know each other and hanging out. What were some of your experiences? You were living with these people for 5 days. What was that like? What did you guys do? How did it go?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Living in the dormitory style where all of the females were in one room, all the males were in another was very interesting because there were at least 15 of us living in pretty small, tight quarters, I'd say.
And to the female dorm. No boys allowed. No.
It was a good experience though. We were all got to know each other very well through that. And there were also a lot of games like Mafia where we all got assigned roles, and Paul was an amazing god, and we actually got to kill each other off. So I should have killed Dylan, even though I didn't, and it was a great game. We also played ping pong, round robin, which was insane, and there might have been a few injuries, falling and hitting into the ping pong table, but it was totally worth it, and we worked off all our food. So ping pong was great. And we definitely had a lot of fun, even though we made fun of each other a lot, but it was all in good fun, and I think we all appreciated each other's company.
Hi, I'm Dominique Trebu. I'm a professor in the psychology department and the chair of the psychology department, and I came here on this trip to be with the students and to participate in our service programs. So this morning we're off to a house that we started working on yesterday, and we are finishing a demolition job, and breaking up concrete is a major task for the day.
Reception.
I think it's really important to get out there, get working. You're young, you're strong, you can really put your effort in more than a lot of the older people in the community who lost their homes. The best part is that you're helping people. You can meet the homeowners. You can see the progress you're making. There's so much that you can do. Every little bit counts.
My name is Bob Vasquez. This is my home. I work for Gateway Disaster Response Team. Okay, well, leading up to Hurricane Sandy, why we're all here, myself and my wife are very laid-back kind of people. We don't panic a lot. That really gets us overexcited. I do cry a lot because, you know, just the love that I've seen by you guys. But when they were talking about Hurricane Sandy, it was Frankenstorm, the storm of the century, all these crazy names they were calling it. But we never thought we needed to do anything about it. You know, the governor said we should evacuate. They called for mandatory evacuation of our town. We didn't think we had to. So everybody was gone except for me and my wife and my dog Molly. Molly's a big Great Pyrenees. So the day of the storm, I was in the garage like I always was, watching TV or whatever, and the tide, normally when the tide would come in, it would come down our dead-end street, crest, and then go back the other way, but the tide this time came right across from the bay, straight across, and it stayed for a while. So let me go inside and see how Pam was doing in the house. So I go in the house, and she said, "Oh, I'm glad you're in because I think I hear water coming in the basement." So I go downstairs with Pamela, and sure enough, there's some water coming in the basement, and it's not that big of a deal. It's dripping right by where the sump pump is. So again, we're not really concerned. Now, as we're going back up the stairs, we hear this crash. And the crash is one of the basement windows is totally gone, and the water is cascading into the basement. And it's not just dripping in, it is flowing in, and it's just coming in into the middle of the room. When I finally got her on the couch, and we finally started to fall asleep, we heard this ripping, tearing kind of sound, like wood tearing. You guys that have been doing demo, you know what that sounds like, right? So we heard that, and so I ran to the back door, and the steps leading up to the apartment were gone. They ripped right off. So now we're up there, and there's no way to get down. So now we're just now what are we going to do? And then the chimney ripped down. So now I go out onto the deck, and I look, and I can see the houses around me are just destroyed. There's nothing left of these houses. The storm surge is so strong, it's taken all these broken pieces of the houses and smashed them against our house. So we have to get out of here because I'm afraid the house is going to just disintegrate and we're going to be crushed. So Pamela will not go in the water. She says, I don't go in the bay on a good day. I'm not going in the bay when it's in my house. So she won't go in the water. So now we're arguing and stuff. So I said, I got to find a way for us to survive this. So she says, well, take one of the doors off the hinges. And then she tells me it worked in Titanic. But I have never seen Titanic, so I still don't get it. But so I kick the bathroom door off the hinges, and I knock it into the water, and I climb onto it, and I'm going to try to get the dog and get my wife, and put them on this makeshift surfboard, and go to a house that's behind us and climb up on their deck. The deck ran along their house. There were stairs going to the top floor, and there was sliding glass doors. I figured I'd just break into that house if we'd survive going in that house. Well, that wasn't going to work because just it wasn't going to work. So now I got to find something. So I go back on the deck, and now the chimney that had ripped off the house is now floating by. It's a wooden chimney. It's closed on three sides. It looks kind of like a canoe. So I'm like, great, I can climb into this thing, get my wife and my dog, and I will push them to safety, and I'll be the hero. So I climb down off the deck again, and I'm standing on the deck, and now I'm holding on like this on the bottom of the deck, but I'm standing in the water. That's how high the water is. And it just rocking. There's no way this is going to work. So I go to climb back up, and I look underneath the garage, and there's no walls left. All the walls of my garage are gone. The only thing holding it up are two columns in the center of the garage. So I climb back up, and I tell my wife, we have to get in the water. And she says, no. Exactly. So she had this little backpack purse thing, and so I take her cell phone, and I put it in a Ziploc bag, and I put it in another Ziploc bag, and as I'm about to put it in her backpack, on her back, it rains. And I look at it real quick, and it's her father. And I am in trouble. So I say, hey, Pop, how's it going? He says, okay. He says, how's it going over there? I said, oh, it's fine. And he says, well, I'm watching the news. It looks really bad. So now I tell Pop there's a boat that's outside. The boat's going to pick us up. Everything will be fine. So he thought that I was okay, but the rescue boat was coming to see if they could find Pamela. So he tells Andy to leave the room and tells his father, I have to go down and see if I can help find her. So he came, he was about 7 blocks away, and he saw our dining room table float past him. It's about 7 blocks inland. And he just broke down, and he said, I have to go home and explain to my fiance that we can't find her mom, you know. So finally we got the communication straight, and everything's okay. The story, I think, is a really good story, I think, because it gets so good, because it's changed so many lives, that storm. The storm changed my life, my family's life, and it's because of people like you guys. For the longest time, people would come by my street and they would just stop, and we called our property the pile. We didn't call it the house because there was no house anymore. It was just a pile of junk. And people would just stop and want to help. And I didn't know why they wanted to help. And I didn't get it. And I said, why do these people just come in and just... But they all had this faith that they shared. You know, they all have this common faith, and that's what brought them here to help. And it changed us. You know, I would never be where I am right now if it wasn't for people like you.
Service to me is being part of something that's bigger than yourself.
By having us here, we're providing just a little bit of hope that things are going to get better. We're going to turn things around.
We have become experts at breaking concrete by this point.
And cracking some jokes at the same time.
I love to help. Helping is what I do.
Anyone is looking for a one-of-a-kind experience, this is the absolute best place to do it.
It certainly beats going to a gym. This gives you a different kind of you.
It makes you feel good. I always leave these weeks feeling accomplished.
No, main purpose in life is to repair the world.
Help Jersey Shore volunteers. Share your stories on your favorite social media platform using hashtag Jersey Shore Volunteers or use hashtag JSV. Since the devastation of Hurricane Sandy on the eastern seaboard on October 29, 2012, the American Red Cross served as first responders to coordinate relief aid. With 125 dead and survivors without power for weeks, the Red Cross began a massive drive to deliver over 9 million meals. In Queens, New York, this center at the Aqueduct served as the distribution point throughout the city.
Okay, no one's exempt from what's happening in New York or any parts of the world or the country. You know, it could happen to anyone. So that's one reason to do it. You know, hey, you know, pay it forward. You know, pay it forward and just help others because it comes around and people will do nice things for yourself. For you, I mean.
One of the hardest hit areas was the Rockaway Peninsula, which was lashed by the surf and 80-mile-per-hour winds. And the southern tip, Breezy Point, suffered extensive fires that were difficult to control during the disaster.
Okay, today we're going to go to Breezy Point once again. We've been doing this every day. Usually I arrive there around 10:30, 11 o'clock and I start feeding. We feed approximately between 160 to 200 clients every day. So we give out hot meals, snacks, water, and blankets, whoever's in need. I'm originally from Hartford, Connecticut, but my chapter's in Boston, Massachusetts. And the reason why I'm doing this because being a retired firefighter from Hartford, I still had it in me to go to help and to do something to make a difference.
All of the food and supply distribution operations from this location were volunteers who themselves came from around the country to lend a hand.
It makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel good as far as what you're doing to help others. And that's really important.
I am a 2-year already AmeriCorps alumni, and I signed up with FEMA Corps, which is with the National Corporation for Community Service and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and we're volunteering here today for the St. Bernard Project for Sandy Recovery. To be a team leader is mean you supervise 10 to 12 individuals across the United States that you travel with to different disaster relief projects. They are very good here at the St. Bernard Project at helping you. This morning I knew nothing about drywalling, and now I'm working with one of my Corps members to put up panels to finish out this bathroom downstairs. I've got about 10 years of volunteer work, and it's all about helping the community. When the community prospers, the people prosper all around. So just being beneficial to my fellow mankind is it's fulfilling enough for me. Please come out to the Jersey Shore and help with disaster relief or apply to one of the many organizations that are willing to help.
I'm a senior. I'm about to graduate. This is my third spring break trip. This entire area was just all concrete when we got here, and we're breaking up the last of it now. So it's a really good feeling to know that we were able to accomplish this much. We have become experts at breaking concrete by this point. I think it's really important to get out there, get working. You're young, you're strong, you can really put your effort in more than a lot of the older people in the community who lost their homes. Definitely give it a try. Don't be discouraged if you don't have experience. There are plenty of contractors who are willing to teach you how to do things. It's a lot of fun. You get to meet new people, make connections, learn new skills that you could use again. The best part is that you're helping people. You can meet the homeowners. You can see the progress you're making. There's so much that you can do. Every little bit counts to help. Support Jersey Shore volunteers.
We're providing just a little bit of hope that things are going to get better. We're going to turn things around.
We have become experts at breaking concrete by this point.
And cracking some jokes at the same time.
It certainly beats going to a gym.
Anyone is looking for a one-of-a-kind experience, this is the absolute best place to do it.
Helping is what I do.
I enjoyed every second of it.